What's up everyone, it's Iceman Oz, aka Jay, and in today's video, I've got for you guys another episode of my Battlefield 4 weapon review series, and in this one we're going to be reviewing the AR-160 Assault Rifle. Coming out with the Naval Strike DLC, it was the most anticipated weapon, a new assault rifle coming in, and a lot of people were thinking, was this going to be the God gun, what was this going to be, and it was completely new to the Battlefield franchise, so a lot of people had a lot of questions regarding this weapon, and we've been able to find out exactly what it does. And for me personally, I've been able to get 500 kills with this gun, so I think it's fair that I can now give my review on it. So let's get started. To unlock the AR-160 Assault Rifle, all you need to do is to have 3 assault rifle ribbons and to get 20 headshots with assault rifles, so it's a pretty easy task. Now once you've unlocked it, you're going to try this thing out, and the first thing you're going to notice is this weapon has a lot of recoil at that medium to long range zone. But to get into the stats to start off with, you have to know that this thing does have a very high vertical recoil with a 0.5 up of vertical recoil, and does have a 0.2 to the left and right, which isn't too much. Really your problem is going to be vertical recoil and controlling that. Now it does have 700 rounds per minute, so it isn't going to go straight up, but again in that medium to long range zone, from about 30 meters onwards, you're going to see that vertical recoil be an issue unless you are really controlling your bursts of about 4 or 5 rounds each burst. You really have to know how to control this weapon. Going into some other stats, it does have a 25 maximum damage, dropping off to 18 at long range, which is the standard for all assault rifles. The damage drop off is at 8 meters and the drop off end is at 55 meters. So after 55 meters, the drop off will completely end and it will stay as 18 damage after 55 meters. So really just tap firing. It's going to take a long time to kill at that super long range, but it is an assault rifle, so that is standard with all assault rifles. So the reload time on the AR-160 is at 2 seconds when there's ammo left in the magazine. When the ammo is completely dry, it's at 3.15 seconds, which is a bit longer. You definitely want to use as much ammo as possible without maxing it out, because if you max it out, you're going to be waiting 3 seconds for that reload in comparison to that 2. So really try to use as much as possible without maxing it out. 31 rounds in the magazine, which again is standard for most assault rifles. So at this point you're probably thinking, why should I use this gun when there are weapons out there like the M416 which have 750 RPM with a very similar recoil pattern? And that is a very good point. I mean, why would you sacrifice 50 RPM on a weapon that has pretty much the same kind of stats? And really, I can't really give any answer to that. I mean, if you really enjoy the AR-160, I think that's the kind of thing you should go with, but there are plenty of other weapons out there that I can recommend that are better than the AR-160 in the assault category. For instance, the AUG-A3, the M416, like I said, the ACE-23. There are plenty of others, but for me, where I see the AR-160 fit in is at that medium range. I feel like it does it very well, and something I have noticed is if you can reduce that recoil on the weapon, it can be better than an AUG-A3, and it can perform better than, you know, an M416 in my personal opinion. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to head into the weapon customization to remove some of that recoil, because if we can sort that out, we can make this a top tier assault rifle. Okay guys, so here we are in the weapon customization. We're going to select the AR-160. So for the optic, I've chosen to go with the Reflex RDS. For tap firing at long range, this is the best way to go. The Coyote also works, just something that has a small dot sight is the best way to go if you're tap firing, in my personal opinion. A Cobra doesn't really work for that. For the accessory, I've chosen to go with the laser sight for when I am hip firing, because you are going to have to if you want to beat people at that close range, considering the low RPM of this gun. For the barrel, I've chosen to go with the muzzle brake. Now normally I don't go with the muzzle brake on a assault rifle, but in this case I have, just because I didn't see too much negatives to it when I was using the AR-160. The other possibility is you can use the flash hider if you don't want a penalty, because every other type of barrel in that category gives you a penalty besides the flash hider, so that's a thing. For the underbarrel, I've chosen to go with the stubby grip. In my personal opinion, it's the best way to go. If you're firing fully automatic, it reduces that recoil, that all-important recoil, by 15%, so when you're firing fully automatic, it's going to help. So after putting on those attachments, attachments, you will see a significant difference within the weapon. I honestly feel like this is the best loadout for the AR-160. If you have a loadout that you want me to try with it, tell me in the comments section below, and I'll be reading them, and I will try them in game, and maybe we'll do a follow-up video to this one. So that's a possibility. Again, guys, you can tell me what you think in the comments section below, what kind of loadouts, what you think of the weapon, all that. But in conclusion, if I wanted to draw a conclusion to this gun, if you get the right attachments, you get the right setup, and after I put this setup on that I just showed you there, I really feel like it is one of the better assault rifles in the game for that medium to long range zone. I kind of think of it as a weapon kind of in between the ACE-23 and the SAR-21. Better than the ACE-23 at that medium range, but not as good as the SAR-21 at medium range, but it has more RPM than the SAR-21, so it's kind of confusing, but to me, I do find a place for it, and I don't think it's an irrelevant weapon. In fact, I think it's quite good if you know how to use it. And I think the fact that a lot of people playing competitive are now starting to use it just shows how good that this weapon actually is. So there it is, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. I encourage you guys to go like my Facebook page. I will leave the link in the description along with my Twitter, Twitch. I live stream like a lot on Twitch, so that's a thing. Just a bunch of different stuff. If you could go follow me on all those different places, I would greatly appreciate it, and it always helps out the channel. So if you want to do that, that would be great. I also have this thing called g2a.com, and the cool thing about this website is if you use my code thing below, you'll actually save yourself a lot of money off just pretty much any game. I mean, just go to the website and check it out, and you'll see a whole catalog of a bunch of different games that you never thought that would be that cheap. For example, when Titanfall first came out, I actually got it so you could buy it for $40, so that was the thing. I've said that was the thing like 4 times in this video, but again, if you want to go check that out, go check that out. But that's pretty much it from me, guys. So if you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and peace.